I'd like to start by reading an excerpt from the journal of a woman who suffered from anorexia and body dysmorphia. I remember in the early days there was a distinction. I had control. I could stop whenever I chose to. At that time, my disorder was a distinct solid black line down the middle of a watercolor. As time progressed, water was continually thrown onto the painting, and that black line slowly became more and more blurry, until eventually it blended with the rest of the painting. It was at this point that I realized I could no longer distinguish myself without my disorder. It seemed no matter how hard I tried, how much I restricted, how thin I got, it was never enough. In the logical, rational side of my brain, I knew I was thin, but in my mind, the place in my mind that harbors my deepest, darkest secrets, I knew there was still more left to go. I knew that no matter how much weight I lost, I would never be thin enough, and there would always be 5 more pounds to go. There are 3 main types of eating disorders: anorexia, bulimia, and EDNOS. Anorexia is characterized by calorie restriction and starvation. Bulimia is characterized by eating excessive amounts of food in short sittings and then purging, inducing vomiting, or abusing laxatives. EDNOS stands for eating disorder not otherwise specified. This can be a label applied to someone who displays both anorexic and bulimic traits, or even traits of other disorders as well. Eating disorders and their onset are often influenced by the media and peer pressure. We often see photoshopped definitions of beauty presented by the media in magazines, TV, and movies. And young girls see these too, and they are under the impression that this is what real women look like, and they should look like that too. Another factor that influences the development of eating disorders is family and genetics. If a girl grows up in a family where comments about her weight are made often and frequently, or her mother is constantly dieting, the girl may grow up feeling insecure about her own weight and her own body image. Also, emerging evidence indicates that there is a relation between genetics and the development of eating disorders. Another well-studied and well-known cause of eating disorders is trauma and stress. Severe stress and trauma, especially sexual assault and rape, often lead to eating disorders. Another disorder that goes hand in hand with eating disorders is called body dysmorphia. Although it can be present in someone without an eating disorder, it is almost always present in someone who does have an eating disorder. Body dysmorphia is characterized by an obsession with a physical flaw, whether real or imagined. In the case of someone with an eating disorder, it has to do with their weight. Body dysmorphia has a severe effect on individuals with eating disorders. They often continue to lose weight well past what their original weight loss goals were, and when they look in the mirror, they see someone who is overweight, ugly, and imperfect. They truly believe they still need to lose weight no matter how thin they get. In their logical, rational mind, they know they're thin, but they are unable to believe it, regardless of what they see. Recall when the young woman said, "In my mind, I knew there was still more left to go. I knew that no matter how much weight I lost, I would never be thin enough, and there would always be 5 more pounds to go." This is a perfect illustration of body dysmorphia and the toll it takes on the rational mindset of an individual suffering from the disorders. According to the South Carolina Department of Mental Health, 1 in 200 women suffer from anorexia, and 2 to 3 in 100 women suffer from bulimia. In America, 8 million people suffer from an eating disorder, and 10 to 15% of these sufferers are men. Eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of any mental illness in America. 5 to 10% of anorexics will die within 10 years of the onset of their disorder, and another 18 to 20% will die within 20 years of the onset of the disorder. Only 20 to 30% of people who suffer from eating disorders ever truly recover from their disorder. These statistics are alarmingly high, and they are due to body dysmorphia. An individual is incapable of recovering because regardless of how thin they are, or how pretty or beautiful they truly are, they are unable to see it because of body dysmorphia. They believe that imperfection is what causes them to be so imperfect, and they will do anything to fix it. This combination of an eating disorder and body dysmorphia is deadly and ultimately may cause the sufferer their own life. And what's the point of being perfect if you're dead?